This is believed to be ground zero in the swine flu outbreak. La Gloria, a remote Mexican farming village that time forgot and that the world would never know but for a 5-year-old boy who was very, very sick with swine flu a month ago. Today, we found a very healthy Edgar Hernandez with his little brother and father on the village's dusty main street.
Were you sick?
Yes, he says.
You were sick? Muy enfermo?
Very sick, I ask. Yes, he says, with a cough. How do you feel now, I ask. Good, says the boy. Edgar's father told us it was late March when his son spent 3 days in bed.
Muy enfermo? Was he very sick?
He had a high fever, he says. He was sweating.
And when did you learn that your son had swine flu?
Just on Sunday, he says. I was watching on TV and they were saying they were looking for the first person who had swine flu. Then the doctor came and told us it was our son.
It was una sorpresa.
Yes, it was a surprise. What wasn't a surprise was that his son got the flu. In March, more than 800 people in this town of 2,000 got sick. No one died, and it was only after swine flu started to spread that Mexican government investigators came to look at the outbreak in La Gloria. There was only one mucus sample available for testing. It belonged to Edgar. At the modest local medical clinic, the village's one doctor, who arrived only weeks ago, says flu is common here.
And are you afraid of swine flu?
No, she says, but she adds she does wear a face mask when dealing with patients. Then she said she was told not to say anything more to us.
When people here heard that a case of swine flu had been traced to this area, few were surprised. And in the next breath, they'll tell you they think they know where it came from.
Just a few miles from the village are about a dozen huge industrial pig farms. For years, villagers have complained about the putrid smell. Although they have no proof, they say they worry that these containment ponds are contaminating their drinking water. That is Jose Benitez Valencia, a shepherd who grazes his goats near one of the pig farms.
And what's it like living around this area with all these pig farms?
Life is bad, he says, because the smell is very bad. We can't live with it. The waste in those ponds just sits there.
You don't like it? No le gusta?
Just go that way to smell it. It stinks. You realize it's very bad.
And are there a lot of jobs for people in the area from these pig farms?
Yes, there's a lot of work, but a lot of people have their health damaged. That's why people quit. The people get sore throats and things like that.
Would you like to work in one?
To tell you the truth, I wouldn't want to work there.
Hola, buenas. ¿Cómo están? Bien, bien.
We also met a security guard who works for the company that owns these farms.
Podemos entrar y...
No, you're not getting in, said the security guard. The guards did tell us that these huge farms bring very few jobs to the area. In the United States, what some call factory farms are part of a multi-billion-dollar industry others call the agribusiness. A year ago, the Pew Charitable Trust conducted a study that looked at health concerns related to the giant pig farms in the U.S.
Our number one public health recommendation was to end the practice that is common in industrial farm animal production of giving antibiotics to healthy animals to compensate for the overcrowded and filthy conditions they live in. Our second primary public health recommendation dealt with our concerns about concentrated animal feeding operation, or CAFO, really being super incubators for developing a pandemic flu virus.
According to the study, the pig is the perfect petri dish for generating new viruses.
Swine they're an amazingly adaptable animal. They can be susceptible to avian influenza, obviously swine influenza, and human influenza. And they really become kind of a mixing bowl in this super incubator that is the industrial operation.
And some farmers in the U.S. defiantly refuse offers to turn their operations into factory farms. Joe Salatine of Polyface Farms outside of Charlottesville, Virginia, is one of them.
An animal that can fully express its physiological distinctiveness will be its most fulfilled. And by fulfillment, I mean it'll be its most nutritious, its happiest, its least amount of sickness or disease. And so we want to provide a habitat that fully honors and respects the pigness of the pig.
Back in La Gloria, most people have no sense of what the swine flu epidemic is doing as it circles the world. They don't know, and the experts don't know, if it really did begin here, and if it did, how it spread. A American medical experts tell us it can be passed from person to person with the most casual contact, and not every carrier gets sick. But you cannot get it from eating pork.
The pig farms, are they good or are they not good for your community? Malice?
They are bad, say all these men who live in the village. They told us they just hope that someone will finally help them in their fight to get the pig farms cleaned up. Just down the street at the Hernandez home, Edgar's father hears his son coughing and worries.
Some of your neighbors think that this came from the pig farms nearby.
Yes, he says, they're just 8 kilometers away. We would like them all to leave because they're going to infect us all. It's not clear how this boy got his swine flu, but it is clear that so far he's the first known case in an epidemic that has spread fear across the globe. For Nightline, I'm Jeffrey Kaufman in La Gloria, Mexico.